Hello, my name is Jai, here with 007 Action Reviews, here with MADDWHIRLED TV. We're going to be reviewing the myTouch 4G. Now, the myTouch 4G is T-Mobile's high-end 4G device at the moment. Now, it's a really good device. It feels solid in the hands, has a nice weight to it, has a lot of pros, and it has only a few cons. Now, my favorite thing about this phone is the way it feels in the hand. It feels really nice. It doesn't have a plasticky, cheap feel to it. It has a metal backing cover. It's very solid, and it just feels really good to hold. Feels like it's designed well. Big hands, small hands. It's good for anybody. I'd highly recommend it. You have your SD card slot. Really important. It's always good to have additional memory. You can expand this up to 32 gigabytes. Comes with an 8 gigabyte micro SD card for all your multimedia needs. Now I'm running the CyanogenMod Gingerbread 2.3 OS, as you can see here. hTc Glacier Gingerbread Android version 2.3. I love it. It's nice. It's what Android is supposed to be like. Google Nexus S, same OS as that one, which is the newest rendition of the Google Android. It's really quick, it's really responsive, it's really smooth, and it looks really good. One of my favorite features of the Gingerbread is the keyboard. Keyboard is really nice. The buttons are very well spaced apart. You very rarely make mistakes. And it's really sweet. It's really one of the high points of the Android 2.3. And if you haven't used it, I would recommend you at least try it. Go try out the Nexus S. It's super cool. A lot of the newer phones that are coming out, they're shipping with Gingerbread, and it is the closest to iPhone for me in terms of fluidity, which is very important. Now, the screen, which is a 3.8 LCD screen, is good. It's nice. It's smooth. It's very bright. And it looks good. It looks really good. Really responsive. But I do have to say, you do get dust underneath the screen. And there have been different occasions, not only for myself, where people have gotten dust underneath their screen. I haven't dropped my phone. There's no reason why I should have dust underneath my screen. It's never happened to me before. And honestly, it kind of sucks. But it's livable. I can live with it. The VGA camera right here on the front for video chatting with your friends is pretty cool. With this CyanogenMod, I have to use Tango, which is the best anyway because I can connect with my friends that have iPhones or whatever, and I can video chat with them. Really cool. Video chatting still has not picked up that much in the market. It's not something that people use that much, but it's also a really good feature, good bragging rights. The 5 megapixel camera on the back takes good photos compared to a lot of other devices. I would have to say some phones take better photos. Nokia N8, HG7 for example, has a 5 megapixel camera and it takes better photos than this. I don't know exactly why, but it just does. I use an app, it's called Vignette. If you don't mind, I just want to show you real quick. It's an amazing app used to take photos, take really good vintage photos. You have lots of different options. It's really unique and it's really good to have. I definitely recommend it if you're a photo enthusiast. One other thing I do want to say about this phone hardware-wise would be the speaker. Now the phone speaker right here, when you put it to your ear, is actually really good. And people have always told me it has good call quality. They can hear me well. I can hear them well. It's really good, especially compared to the HTC, which has horrible call quality. I think this works really, really well as a phone. It did a really good job with this as a phone. You can hear other people well. They can hear you. It's clear. But in terms of the speaker on the back of the device, which is used primarily for the speakerphone, watching videos, listening to music, is very low. It's very quiet, and it's hard to hear. Especially when I have it on speakerphone, I have to put the phone up to my ear. It's not something I like to do. I have here a DSP manager, which is something that comes with the Synergen mod. It's an equalizer, which you can enable to boost the bass, make the effects higher, just make it sound better. Even with that, the speaker still is horrible. Just have to lay that out. Not a big fan of the speaker. You have the buttons right here, hard buttons, versus having the capacitive buttons of a lot of different devices right now. I say the hard buttons are a lot better. Just because sometimes for me, I sometimes hit the capacitive buttons and it goes places I don't want it to. It's just nice to have it. Thumb board, really nice. When you're browsing, you can go up, down, left, right, and it's really responsive. It's not something I use all the time, but it's good to use it when it's there. Also, I do recommend Synergen mod. I'm using the nightly build. You can download stable. Look at XDA developers if you haven't already. Android is just amazing, especially the 2.3. Android is good. Everybody knows it. It's open sourced. I personally love. I love a lot of different devices, whether it be the Windows Phone 7, the Symbian, or Android. But I have to say, this is one of the best Android phones I've ever used, and it has a lot of pros. The screen is really good. It's very solid, really well made, but the speaker on the back is really weak, and the fact that I get dust underneath the screen kind of blows. The 3.8 size screen is just enough, and honestly, if you want a really, really good phone that's really fast, 4G speed is really, really fast, and using it on T-Mobile's HSPA network is a breath of fresh air. Downloading files are very quick, and it's something that I've grown used to. Amazon App Store, you get a free app every day if you haven't used it already. Kind of cool. I would definitely recommend this phone. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Really well made. If you haven't tried it, try it out. Right now you can get it used for about $270 to $333 on eBay, or you can buy it new out of contract for about $400. T-Mobile selling it for $450 still, and you can get it for a contract for either $200 or free, depending on the site that you go to. Amazon, I know they have a really good deal if you want to sign a 2-year contract. I personally do not sign contracts. I think it's cheaper in the long run to not sign a contract, to just buy the phone outright. But I definitely recommend this phone. Everybody that I've talked to that has used this phone absolutely loves it, men and women alike. So if you're considering this phone, thinking about this phone, I definitely recommend it. You won't disappoint. Here I'm using a TPU case. When you do get it, if you have it already, they're good cases. They're really cheap, $5 on eBay. You just put the phone in there, and it protects it really well. Feels good in the hand. Okay, again, my name is Jai, and this is 007 Action Reviews here at MADDWHIRLED TV, and I hope you enjoyed our review of the myTouch 4G.